Willie? Thank you, Jerry. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you, and welcome to the final game of the homestand, the final meeting of the year between the Dodgers and the New York Mets. It'll be Tommy Agee, then the shortstop, Bud Harrelson, and the left fielder, Cleon Jones. Tommy Agee, the right-hand batter, hitting .278. Tom with 23 home runs, a career high, 65 runs batted in. The Claude Osteen looks in to read Jeff Torborg, and we're about ready. Osteen's first pitch, high and away, ball one, and Claude will be studied carefully to see whether he is able to follow through correctly. You remember the last time he pitched, he had to come out suffering a pulled muscle or a slight pull, and we'll see now how he holds up. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Tommy Agee is a big chopper to the left of Wills. He backs up, spears it at the left shoulder, throws and gets him. One away as Tommy Agee grounds to Wills and the batter, Bud Harrelson.
Number 3, shortstop, Bud Harrelson.
Harrelson has an overall batting average of .231. He's a switch hitter. From the numbers, at least, he would appear to be a much better hitter left-handed, and he would be batting right-handed against Osteen. He's hitting under .200 as a right-handed batter. Bill Sudeikis playing in on the grass at third. Osteen into the windup and delivers, and the fastball is low. Ball one. Bill Williams, the plate umpire. Nick Colosi at first. Tom Gorman at second. Stan Landis at third. Harrelson waiting. Osteen comes back 1-0, and the fastball's a strike. 1-1. The outfield shallow, particularly Davis and Costco. Parker, Sizemore, Will Sudeikis, the battery of Osteen and Torborg, Mota, Davis, Costco in the outfield. Fastball is lined to center. Willie was shallow, and he just calls it in. 2 down in the first inning, and here's a fellow the Dodgers have not seen in the series. The left fielder, Cleon Jones. Jones has been out with a bad hand. He hurt the heel and side of his hand, sliding in San Diego. He then went to San Francisco and played a couple of games, and then when he came here, that hand was bothering him too much and he had to come out. Jones hitting .351, 12 home runs, 72 runs batted in. For Willie Davis, in retrospect, he would be fortunate to have gotten that ball that dropped in last night. With Shamsky playing left, Jones covers much more ground. So Cleon is in there tonight. Osteen delivers, high and away, ball one. The Heat's on, the Giants won, the Reds won, Atlanta won. Houston not scheduled. Osteen's 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball, it runs away, ball two. On deck, the fellow who was rattling Dodger Stadium last night, Don Clendenin. 2-0 to Cleon Jones, right-hand batter. Osteen comes back to him and misses low, ball three. Osteen ready, and the 3-0 pitch on the way to Cleon Jones, taken for a strike. 3-1. Three and one. The count to Cleon Jones. Osteen nods yes. Torborg setting his target. 3-1 pitch. Fastball hit over the mound. Wills to his left. Gloves it at the right knee. Throws him out. The Mets go out in order at the end of half an inning. New York nothing. Dodgers coming up. Bottom of the first inning will set the Mets defensively. Left-handed Jerry Kuzman, who started here Monday and could get but one out. Loosening up to his battery mate, Duffy Dyer. The infield of Don Clendenin and Al White. Bud Harrelson and Ed Charles. The outfield of Cleon Jones, Tommy Agee, and Ron Swoboda. Maury Wills, Manny Mota, and Willie Davis up in the first inning. Maury Wills hitting .270 and batting right-handed against Kuzman. Jerry is 12-9, 2-2 with the Dodgers, 4-2 left-handed. He's into the windup, and the first pitch to Will, fastball high, ball one, 1-0. When Kuzman started Labor Day, he could get but one out. He was charged with 4 runs and 3 hits. The Dodgers added 5 more against relief pitcher Cal Kuntz and a 10th run against Jack DeLauro. The 1-0 pitch to Will, fastball missed again, ball 2. Kuzman is ready to pitch. That's one big reason why he has come back so quickly. He's ready to pitch, and also the Mets have a 2-game meeting with the Chicago Cubs Monday and Tuesday, and they want Kuzman to pitch Monday. Pitch over for a strike, 2-1. The Cubs lost today. Cincinnati shut them out. Now the 2-1 pitch on the way. Wills takes inside, ball 3. Going into this game, the Mets are 4.5 games back of the Cubs, and they have 4 meetings left with Chicago. The last 2 games of the year, the Mets play the Cubs. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Maury Wills. Fastball hit down to shortstop. Harrelson waits, plays it off the bill of the cap, and throws him out. Ball took a big hop. 1 away. Manny Mota hitting .335. Danny Ozark coaching at third, Jim Gilliam at first. The outfield almost straight away, but Tommy Agee shading Mota just a bit towards right center. On deck, and all eyes will be upon him shortly, Willie Davis. Kuzman into the windup, and Jerry delivers in the curve. A good one, over for a strike. 0-1. No score, bottom of the first inning, just the start of the game. Kuzman, strike 1 pitch on the way. Mota takes inside, 1-1. Kuzman's 1-1 pitch to Mota. Change outside, ball 2, 2-1. Jerry, big fella out of Appleton, Minnesota. 6'2", 205 pounders. He won 19 last year for the Mets. He had a sore arm earlier this year, and he is just rounded back into form. The 2-1 fastball hit off the fists and rolled to second. Weiss up with it, throws him out. Okay, 2 down, and for his first important at-bat tonight, here comes Willie Davis. So Willie Davis against left-hander Jerry Kuzman. He has hit safely in 30 in a row. So Davis at the plate. Wes Parker on deck. Ed Charles up a step inside the bag at third. Kuzman ready to pitch to Willie. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. Willie's 30-game hitting streak is the longest in the league since Musial had a 30-game streak in 1950. The next pitch, slow curve low, 1-1. Rogers Hornsby, back in 1922, hit in 33 straight. The National League record, 37, modern. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curveball grounded to first base and juggled by Clendenin, but he picks it up and steps on the bag, and the inning is over. So the Dodgers are gone 1-2-3, and at the end of 1, no score.
Camper headquarters in the Valley is Camp West Industries, 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix, just north of Thomas Road. Camp West, featuring 2 outstanding lines of quality campers, Tramper Camper and Travette, and 75 different models to choose from. They've got a camper to suit your needs, your budget, with prices starting as low as $189. Both Tramper Camper and Travette feature a lifetime warranty for as long as you own the camper. See Tramper Camper with all the luxury of more expensive campers, and Travette, the Cadillac of campers. And you do-it-yourselfers, you'll find everything you need to build your camper at Camp West. Aluminum skins and windows, ice boxes, stoves, water pumps, water pressure systems. You name it, if they don't have it, they'll get it for you. And remember, for quality, price, and service, see Camp West Industries. Easy to get to from anywhere in the Valley. They're at 2802 Grand Avenue, just north of Thomas Road and a block west of Black Canyon Freeway. Camp West is open 6 days a week, Monday through Friday till 9, Saturday till 5. Remember, before you buy your camper, see Camp West, your volume camper dealer.
To the second inning here at Dodger Stadium. No score in the ball game. It'll be Don Clendenin, Ron Svoboda, and Ed Charles in that order. Osteen set the side out in order. One shot, hit pretty hard, line drive by Harrelson, but right at Willie Davis. Don Clendenin, who homered into the right center field bleachers last night, and then the next time up, hit one over the top of the left field foul pole. Later on in the game, had a one-hop single that almost took Sudeikis with it. So Clendenin put on quite a muscle show last night. He's hitting .264 with a total of 11 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Big right-hand batter, formerly with Pittsburgh. Osteen looks down the barrel, now into the windup, and the left-hander delivers. And the first one outside, ball one. Ron Svoboda on deck. He's hurt the Dodgers twice recently with the bases loaded, last night and last week. The 1-0 pitch to Clendenin is a ground ball to Sudeikis. Bad hop into left field. Mota up with the ball and Clendenin aboard, and the left side of the Dodger infield has become a rocky road. So for Sudeikis, fortunately, he was able to get out of the way of it. That thing went high over his head. Base hit for Clendenin, and the batter, Ron Svoboda. Ron Svoboda hitting .242 with 6 home runs, 41 runs batted in. They throw that ball out, so it really took a hop. Gorman examines it, gets rid of it. Svoboda, right-hand hitting right fielder. Clendenin at first, held on by Parker. Second inning, no score. The pitch of the plate, Svoboda takes a strike, 0-1. Osteen hands it aside. Has a look to see what Clendenin's up to. Works the plate. Slow curve. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 0-2. Good to see Casey Stengel on hand again tonight. Casey, of course, always here when the Mets are in town. The count to Ron Svoboda. Osteen back with a fastball fouled away, and it's still 0-2. Our centennial celebrity for tonight, we're not going to say who it is now, but he is a fitting celebrity, particularly at this particular time. With Casey Stengel on hand and with Willie Davis having broken Zach Wheat's mark, because our centennial celebrity tonight was a teammate of Zach Wheat and Casey Stengel on the 1916 Dodgers. Strike 2 pitch. High chopper out in front of the plate. Torborg lets Osteen get it, throw, and gets him at first. So Osteen makes a nice play to nip Svoboda. Clendenin advancing to second, and with one out, the batter is Ed Charles. Ed Charles, the only poet that we know of in the National League. He actually has a book of his poems published. Ed, however, has not exactly been hitting according to the iambic pentameter. He's had a little trouble. He's more blank verse than anything with the bat this year, hitting .199. 2 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Clendenin at second, 1 out in the second, no score. Osteen to the plate, and it's swung on and missed. 0-1. On deck, Duffy Dyer. The Dodgers will go to San Diego and play the Padres starting tomorrow night. Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. All of the games televised in the Los Angeles area on Channel 11 and on KFI and the Dodger Radio Network. Strike 1 pitch away. 1-1. This afternoon at the Sportscasters Luncheon here at Dodger Stadium, there was a phone call made and quite a conversation between Willie Davis and Zach Wheat back in Missouri. Here's the 1-1 pitch, taken for a strike at the knees, 1-2. Ed Charles waiting at the plate. 1 out, second inning, no score. Don Clendenin leading off second base. The contenders won today in the Western Division. The Reds, the Giants, and Atlanta all won. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Charles. Fastball hit back to the left of the mound. Osteen has it, holds Clendenin, throws Charles out. Osteen has to work overtime here in the second inning because of the bad hop. And coming up now will be catcher Duffy Dyer. Duffy Dyer, right-hand batter. Dyer hitting .222. He has 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Osteen checks Torborg. Clendenin taking his lead. Second inning, 2 out, no score. Claude ready, and the pitch to Dyer. Hit off the end of the stick. Foul to Lawrence Yogi Berra. And he's up with it, examines the ball, and decides he'll let Osteen pitch with it. 0-1 the count. Dyer waiting. Osteen checks Clendenin. Strike 1 pitch. Fastball just low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Osteen freezing in his follow-through. Little unhappy with the call. 1 ball, 1 strike. Claude has won 18 and lost 11. 0-1 with the Mets. He is under 500 to the Mets. He has beaten them 8 times. They have beaten him 9. 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball hit in the air to right field. Costco trots in and under it. Andy waiting for it to come down. Makes the catch, and the inning is over. A bad hop single, and that's all. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. At the end of an inning and a half, the Mets nothing, the Dodgers nothing.
Hey, Dick Landy, who do you look up to when you're going for those low street eliminator ETs?
I look up to the Christmas tree. When my timing is right off the line, I figure I'll get the drop on anybody in the other lane.
Hey, Dick Landy, who do you look up to for a gasoline for your passenger car?
I look up to 76. Royal 76 Premium is exactly the same powerful gasoline I use for racing.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76. For prodigal and service like you want to do, look up to 76.
Look up to 76 for Royal 76 Premium when you're looking for high performance in your own car. Union 76 has won more races in the West than any other brand. Shouldn't Royal 76 Premium be your brand?
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76.
Bottom of the second inning, no score in the ball game. For the Dodgers, Wes Parker, Andy Costco, and Bill Sudeikis. Wes Parker comes up to the plate, hitting .298, just 2 points away from the high rent district. He has 13 home runs, 65 runs batted in. Jerry Kuzman, left foot on the rubber, into the windup, and comes to the plate. Breaking ball is fouled back, 0-1. Bottom of the second, no score. Dodgers going out on the road after tonight. The strike 1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dodgers will go to San Diego. Then they have big series coming up after San Diego with Atlanta and Houston. 1-1 pitch, fastball for a strike, 1-2. One of the things the Dodgers must guard against, and sometimes it would happen in a pennant race, you have a tendency to look too far ahead. And they had better not overlook the Padres, who are lying in the weeds just waiting for them down there. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Parker. Curve ball, got him. Good pitch. Strike 3 called. West knew it and walked away. So Parker goes out looking on a curve, and the batter is Andy Costco.
Right fielder, Andy Costco.
Sandy Costco has become Mr. 555, if you remember that old song. It has nothing to do with his dimensions, but he has had 5 hits in his last 5 at-bats, driving in 5 runs. Andy hitting .249. He had that bloop single last night to cash in 2 as a pinch hitter. He takes a strike. One of the more phenomenal things about the Dodgers this year, the success of their pinch hitters. Dodger pinch hitters this year have hit .289, and that's one of the tougher parts of this job. The leading pinch hitter is Len Gabrielson at .345. Curveball is hit to Charles, and he boots it, and Costco is aboard. Ed tried to charge and short hop, and he couldn't handle it. And now, third base umpire Stan Landis wants to look at the ball, and he shows it to Kuzman and throws it out. I don't know what it is going on the field tonight. You remember Osteen made one pitch to Clendenin. The ball took a bad hop, went into left field, and when they brought it back to the infield, Tom Gorman threw it out of the game. Now Kuzman pitches. Costco hits a ground ball to Charles. He tries to short hop on the dirt. He can't do it, and they throw that ball out of the game. And the batter is Bill Sudeikis. Fastball is low to Bill, ball 1. Sudeikis hitting .241. Bill has 13 home runs, 51 RBIs. He was blazing hot just prior to his stomach problems. Out in front of his slow curve, in the count 1-1. Sudeikis had hit safely, I think it was 18 in a row. That was stopped. Willie Davis just kept on going. 1-1 to Bill Sudeikis. 1 out in the second, no score. Kuzman looks at Costco, works Sudeikis, and the fastball is fouled to the screen. 1-2. When the Dodgers go to San Diego tomorrow night, Bill Singer will open up against the Padres, probably Dick Kelly. Then Jim Bunning and Joe Niekro Friday night. Don Sutton, Clay Kirby Saturday night. And you come back to Osteen and Al Santorini. Change is hit way down the left field line, but full foul and back into the lower deck. So Jerry Kuzman pushing that one up to the plate, and Sudeikis pulled it foul. 1-2. Next one, Sudeikis starts to swing and just does hold up. 2-2 the count. Kuzman looks at Costco. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball hit to the hole. Under the glove of Shaw. Down onto the left field. Costco stops at second base. So Bill Sudeikis singles to left. 2 on, 1 out, and Ted Sizemore the batter.
Number 41. Second baseman is Sizemore.
Willie Davis has not been the only Dodger performing some personal heroics. Certainly Ted Sizemore belongs in that category. He scored at least 1 run in the last 6 games, among other things. He takes a curve low, ball 1. He's had 9 hits in his last 18 at-bats. In the past 21 games, he's hit .400. And just to finish it up, he has hit safely in 18 of his last 21 games. Ted Sizemore. Kuzman delivers. Sizemore looks, and it's low. Ball 2. Ted is average at .272. Has 1 home run, 36 RBIs. So Kuzman facing a second inning challenge with 1 out. An error by Charles and a single by Sudeikis. Jerry at the belt. The left-hander's 2-0 pitch to Ted Sizemore. Pop foul off to the right, out of play. Duffy Dyer takes a look, but that's all. Well back into the lower deck. In case you missed those scores again, Cincinnati 2, the Cubs nothing. The Giants 2, Montreal 1, Atlanta 8, Pittsburgh 1, Philadelphia 2, San Diego nothing at the end of an inning and a half. Oakland beat Boston 7-4. Boston beat Oakland 5-1. The 2-1 pitch to Sizemore. Low, ball 3. Detroit over Kansas City 4-2. Minnesota beat Cleveland 7-1. Big pitch for Jerry Kuzman. Sizemore's had a look at Ozark to see if they're going to let him hit. 3-1 pitch to Ted. Ground ball to the hole. Harrelson there. Goes back to Weiss. No play as Sudeikis dumps Weiss. Bill Sudeikis, a clean, legitimate slide, and he just upended Al Weiss. In fact, Weiss did a great job just to hold on to the ball, and Sudeikis goes back into the Dodger dugout. 2 down. That kept the inning alive, preventing the double play, and here is Jeff Tallboy. Jeff Tallboy, right-hand hitting catcher, hitting .210. Costco at third, Sizemore at first, 2 out. Kuzman delivers a strike at the knees. Fastball. 0-1. Kuzman right back 0-1, and the pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2. Jeff twisted his ankle yesterday. He had to soak it in ice water before the game last night. However, he reported he was okay and ready to go today. 0-2 to Jeff Tallboy. Second inning, no score. 2 out. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Low and inside with a fastball. Ball 1. 1-2. Costco at third. Sizemore at first. 2 out. 1-2 pitch to Tallboy. Fastball. Foul to the screen. Kuzman waiting for his catcher, Duffy Dyer, to flash out some signs. Torborg waiting. Now the left-hander set on the 1-2 pitch. High to the backstop. Here comes Costco to score. Down to second, Sizemore. Wild pitch, and the Dodgers lead 1-0. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Appliances for cooking or looking, freezing or opening, cleaning or storing. All can be found at Factory Tire Outlet, 3528 West McDowell, Phoenix, where you can use your Arizona Bank AmeriCard.
This is Kate here, Phoenix.
Well, it's the old story about the lucky guy in baseball, if you can come up with an adequate definition of luck. The Dodgers had an error by Ed Charles, a 2-out single, an infield out, and then the wild pitch gets the run over. So, at second base, Sizemore, 2 out, 2-2 to count to Jeff Tallboy. Kuzman ready, and the left-hander delivers, and it's fouled away. One 1-0 Dodgers, second inning. Kuzman looks back at Sizemore, and the slow curve inside at the feet of Tallboy. That's the first breaking ball he's given him. 3-2. Now Bill Williams examining the ball, keeps it in play. Claude Osteen, the best hitting Dodger pitcher, on deck. Dyer in a crouch behind the plate. Shuffling his cards, and Kuzman picks out the one that he wants. 3-2 pitch to Jeff Tallboy. Fastball got him swinging. He stayed with that pitch and strikes him out. So the Dodgers get a gift, a run on a hit, an error, and a wild pitch, and a man left. And at the end of 2, Dodgers won, Mets nothing. Well, you know, sometimes we find ourselves wondering just who you are, where you are, and what you're doing while you're listening to the ball game. Maybe you're in your car, wishing you were heading out to the ballpark, or maybe you're working with your radio turned on just loud enough so you can hear it. Or maybe you're a member of the fair section. You're out in the kitchen whipping up a cake or something. But you know what we like to think of you? Well, you've got on your favorite old comfortable clothes, an old pair of shoes, or maybe you got the shoes off, and you're sort of stretched out in a big, soft chair. That's our idea of a comfortable way to listen to a ball game. And in one hand, you got a Bergie, because that's our idea of a comfortable kind of beer. You take a drink and it tastes good. Cold and refreshing. Has a light taste that's just about as comfortable as you are. Well, the game goes on, and a couple of times in between innings, you kind of wander out to the kitchen and get another. Yeah, that sure sounds good to me, because that's my idea of a comfortable kind of time. A good ball game, a good chair, and a comfortable kind of beer. Bergie. Through 2 innings, the Dodgers 1 run, 1 hit. The Mets no runs, 1 hit, and an error. Battle of left-handers, Claude Osteen and Jerry Kuzman. The Dodgers knowing that the other contenders all won. Cincinnati 2, Chicago nothing, San Francisco 2, Montreal 1, Atlanta 8, Pittsburgh 1. One other game in the National League tonight. Philadelphia leading San Diego 2-0, and San Diego is the next stop for the Dodgers. Tomorrow night, Bill Singer will open up the series. Let's go to the third. 1-0 Dodgers. For more play-by-play, here's Jerry Doggett.
All right, Vinny. Al Weiss, the second baseman for New York, coming on now. Weiss batting .221, Jerry Kuzman on deck, and Tommy Agee to follow. So Osteen with a run to work on, and Claude now has run out a string of 20 2/3 innings scoreless. He started tonight with 18 2/3. So Claude trying to make that run stand up for a while as the Mets come to bat now. Al Weiss, right-hand batter, second baseman. Osteen checking signs with Torborg. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. Fastball chopped away foul. It is strike 1. 0-1 is the count. The Dodgers will be playing in San Diego the next 4 games, while the Giants are at Houston. And then the Dodgers go to Atlanta while the Giants are at Cincinnati. Fastball is outside. And then while the Giants are at Atlanta, the Dodgers will be at Houston. So we're getting right down to the nitty-gritty, so to speak, in the National League Wild West. 1-1 pitch. Lined at second base, 1 hop to Sizemore. Throw to Parker in time, and it's 1 away. So Weiss grounds out, second to first. 0-1 the count. The Dodgers in their own division have done well. They have won 35 and lost 26.
Jerry Kuzman.
That's better than they have done against the Eastern Division. Here's Kuzman at bat, right-hand hitter. Jerry, as a hitter, has 4 hits in 17 at bats. Make it 3 for 63. Kuntz has 4 for 17. Now the pitch on the way. High for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Tomorrow night at San Diego. Game time 8 o'clock. Warm up at 7:40 on the Dodger Radio Network KFI and Channel 11 in the Los Angeles area. Here's a foul back into the lower stands. 1-1 to Jerry Kuzman. Tommy Agee on deck. The Dodgers a run and a hit. The Mets, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error. 1-1 pitch now on the way. Fastball is too low, and it's ball 2. 2-1. Kuzman wears number 36, throws left, bats right. They shade him to the right in the outfield. Osteen delivers. Strike 2. Fastball in there around the knees, and it's a 2-2 count. Claude Osteen with 18 wins. Trying to get number 19 tonight, and he's aiming at a 20-game season. He's never made 20. In fact, 18 is high for him. Here's a foul into the screen. 2-2 still up there. Denny McLean tonight got his 22nd. He beat Kansas City 4-2. Juan Marichal got his 17th today, beating Montreal 2-1. Atlanta beat Pittsburgh 8-1. Ron Reed the winner. 2-2 pitch on the way to Kuzman. Line down the right field line, foul ball. So Kuzman pushes one away, foul down to the right field corner. Andy Costco down there to retrieve it. 2-2, 1 out in the third inning. Dodgers scored in the second, lead 1-0. Had a wild one here last night. The Dodgers with 3 in the ninth inning came up 1 shy of a tie. The Mets winning 5-4. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. Fastball, and Kuzman down on strike. That is strikeout number 1 for Osteen and brings up Tommy Agee, the leadoff man, grounded out his first time up. Agee batting .278, 23 home runs, and 65 runs batted in. All right, Agee in there. Now the windup and the pitch on the way. Swung on a ground ball to short. Will scoops it up on 2 bounces. Throw in time, and Agee out to retire the side. They're all out, 1, 2, 3, and the score at the end of 2.5 innings. Dodgers 1, Mets nothing.
You know, most people would agree that the key man in baseball is the pitcher. And you know, in the wiener-making business, it's the man in charge of grinding, mixing, and spicing the meat. At Farmer John's Weenie Works, the man in charge is a true weenie genius. Farmer John brought him over from the old country just to head up his weenie making. This weenie genius makes Farmer John all-meat wieners a secret old world way, using only fresh Eastern corn-fed pork and fresh, lean, juicy, homegrown beef. Then the weenie genius grinds the meat finely and spices it sublimely. Finally, Farmer John adds the magic touch by smoking his wieners over native western wood. So there's the genuine flavor of the West in every tender, tasty morsel. Farmer John all-meat wieners are the gold medal winners of the California State Fair, and no wonder, because they're not only all meat, but pure genius. So look for Farmer John all-meat wieners in the delicatessen section of your market. And if you don't see them, be sure to ask for them. Don't be shy. Step up and ask for Farmer John.
Now to the last of the third. Osteen will be the first batter for the Dodgers facing Kuzman. Osteen Wills Mota here in the third inning.
1, Osteen.
Osteen now steps in. Claude is hitting .237 with 22 base hits and 11 runs batted in, 1 home run. Jerry Kuzman into the windup now, and the left-hander's pitch on the way. Fastball for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to Osteen. The Dodgers on this homestand, winding it up tonight, is a curve low, and it's 1-1. They have won 6 and lost 2. Swept Philadelphia, took 2 out of 3 from Montreal, and 1 with New York. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Osteen. A little low for ball, 2-1. Billy Williams, the plate umpire. Colosi, Gorman, and Landis on the bases. Two-one pitch to Claude, swung on and fouled back into the wire. Two-two pitch. Swung on a bouncing ball, hit over Ozark's head down the left field line, and the count is still 2-2. The Dodgers have played 66 games at home and 66 games on the road. And there's a remarkable difference. 40 and 26 at home and 33 and 33 on the road. That's the old adage. Break even on the road and you got a chance to win at home. Curve is inside, ball 3, 3-2. So the Dodgers are dead even on the road. And they have 15 road games left. Three-two pitch to Claude is swung on and missed, strike 3. So Osteen goes down on strikes as Kuzman gets his third. And the leadoff batter, Maury Wills, coming up now. Maury coming on, grounded out his first time up. We told you the Dodgers against the East 38-33 and against the West 35-26. This is their final game against the East for the year. Here's the pitch to Wills. Punted up the first baseline, and it goes foul ball. Clendenin picked it up as Wills came by him. Maury comes back to try it again. Strike 1 count. In case you missed the scores earlier, Cincinnati shut out Chicago 2-0. Maloney all the way to win, a 2-hitter. The Giants won with 2 hits, beating Montreal 2-1, Marischal the winner. And Atlanta beat Pittsburgh 8-1. Here's a bunt, third base side. Kuzman off the mound, and his throw is not in time. Clendenin couldn't hold it anyway, but he was ruled safe. It'll be a base hit by Wills. A bunt on the third base side. He pushed one foul on the first base side and came right back and dropped one up of the third base line and beat Kuzman's low throw. So Wills on now, and Manny Mota at bat. We'll see if Wills tries to run on Kuzman. Maury has stolen 10 bases in the last 9 games and has been caught only once. In fact, he's only been caught once in the last 12 tries. He now has a 4-game hitting streak, and he's 7 for 15. All right, Mota on at bat. Wills on at first. Kuzman out of a stretch, and a throw over there. Wills back in time. Maury again moves off the bag at first. Kuzman looking right at the runner, and a throw over there again, and again Wills back head first. Kuzman has a pretty good move over there. In New York, he committed a balk against the Dodgers. Here's the look. Checking Wills, and he throws to first, and Wills is going, and Clendenin drops the ball. And Wills is safe at second base. They threw to first. Wills was breaking, and Clendenin didn't hold the throw, so Wills gets the stolen base. For Maury, that's 38. A big break that time as Kuzman had him dead to rights, but the throw right at Clendenin, he did not hold it. So Maury is credited with a stolen base, and that now is 11 in the last 10 games. And for Maury, his 22nd stolen base as a Dodger. He has 38 in all. All right, Mota now trying to pick him up. Manny's been battling a slump, 335 average. 3 homers, 27 runs batted in. Wills off second. Now the look by Kuzman, the pitch to Mota. Outside, ball 1. 1-0. The Dodgers leading 1-0 and trying to get some more now against left-hander Jerry Kuzman. A bunt single and a steal by Wills, who was picked off. But credited with the steal when Clendenin did not hold the throw. Now the pitch. Low with a curve, ball 2. And it gets away from Dyer, but not far enough to allow Wills to try to move. And Dyer couldn't find it with the mask on, so he whipped the mask off, danced around, and then did. Two balls, no strikes to Manny Mota. All right, Manny waiting. Now the stretch again. To look back at second, the pitch to Mota, high, ball 3. 3-0. On deck, Willie Davis. 3 balls, no strikes. Mota with a look at Ozark, now back in the batter's box. Kuzman set, checks, and delivers to the plate. Foul. He had the green light, and he swung and fouled that one into the press box. Out again, and it bounced downstairs. So 3-1 to Manny Mota. Let him swing away on a 3-0 count. All right, Manny waiting. Wills off second again as Kuzman looks, delivers. Bounce toward the right side. Weiss gets a big high hop. Throw to first in time for the out. Boy, that ball is really bouncing here on Dodger Stadium. Willie Davis coming up with a runner at third base and 2 outs. Willie D grounded out to Clendenin his first time up, hitting .318. 30 consecutive games for Davis. Now the Mets play the cornerman up. Charles at third, Clendenin at first, play up a bit. Now Clendenin backs up a few steps. Charles stays in at third. Willie Davis at bat with Maury Wills on third base. And Kuzman out of the windup and the pitch on the way to Willie. Strike on a fastball right in there, 0-1. Willie trying to pass some more on the all-time consecutive hitting list. He's aiming at Fred Clark and Sam Wright. Strike one count, Willie waiting. Kuzman set the windup and the pitch on the way. Curve bounces away. Clendenin dropped the throw from Kuzman, and Wills went on into second base. Took third on the ground out, and now home on a wild pitch. Costco, who scored the first run, was on an error. Advanced on a base hit. Scored on a wild pitch. Sidearm pitch is swung on and missed. Willie Davis really fooled on that one. Sidearm curveball, and down he goes. So Davis 0 for 2, strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Kuzman. The Dodgers retired in the third, pick up a run on a hit, and none left on. The score at the end of 3, Dodgers 2 and the Mets nothing.
In 1964, Magnavox invented and introduced automatic fine-tuning, which eliminated bothersome and critical picture fine-tuning. And now, in 1969, Magnavox does it again. Magnavox now brings you another revolutionary achievement and solves the problem of annoying variations in color TV. We call it TAC, Total Automatic Color. TAC makes tuning of color TV so simple, a child can tune it perfectly. No green or purple faces, no variations in color intensity, no critical picture fine-tuning, no color adjustments to make. Just set it once and forget it. Enjoy uniform color and picture from program to program, from channel to channel. And with Magnavox, choose from superb fine furniture cabinetry. See the complete line of Magnavox color TVs with total automatic color at Christown TV in the Christown Shopping Center, 19th Avenue and West Bethany Home Road.
We've played 3 innings, and the Dodgers lead the Mets 2-0. Claude Osteen concludes warm-up tosses. We're ready to go back to play in the 4th. More action, and here's Vince.
All right, Jerry, 2-0 on wild pitches for the Dodgers, and of course they'll take them anywhere they can. Bud Harrelson, Cleon Jones, and Don Clendenin in that order against Claude Osteen. So the Dodgers 2 runs, 2 hits. The Mets no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. Harrelson, the switch hitter, batting right-handed, lined out to Willie Davis, who plays in shallow and center. Sudeikis plays him in on the grass. Osteen, after his 19th win tonight, delivers in a bunt foul off to the right of the plate, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike to Bud Harrelson, Mets shortstop. Osteen into the windup, and the strike 1 fastball away, 1-1. Osteen and Kuzman bringing down the curtain on the homestand and also finishing off the year's work between the Dodgers and the Mets. 1-1 pitch on the way. Osteen's fastball, line drive, backhanded by Wills. Maury Wills backhanding a line drive off the bat of Bud Harrelson and taking a hit away from the shortstop. And here's Cleon Jones. Jones grounded to Wills, who threw him out in the first inning. The Mets have 1 hit. A single left by Don Clendenin, and that was an out ground ball that suddenly exploded and kangarooed over Sudeikis' head. So the 1 hit is a bad hopper. Dodgers trying to keep pace. Cincinnati, San Francisco, and Atlanta all won. The pitch to Cleon Jones, ground ball to Sizemore. He charges, takes it at the knees, now straightens up and gets in. 2 out. That'll bring up Don Clendenin. Clendenin has figured prominently in last night's game and again tonight. He has the only hit. He also had the pickoff throw get away from him, and that set up the second Dodger run. So Clendenin waiting with 2 outs. 2-0 Dodgers, 4th inning. Osteen into his windup. Claude delivers, curveball, grounded foul, outside of third and down the line. 0-1. Osteen trying to win his 19th. Kuzman trying to win his 13th. Ron Swoboda on deck. Strike 1 pitch to Clendenin. Fastball. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. The outfield very deep with a gap in right center. Clendenin bends at the knees and at the waist. Strike 2 pitch. High and outside. Ball 1. 1-2. Dodgers scoring in the second and third, each time getting a run on a wild pitch. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way to Clendenin. Just missed inside. Osteen was walking off the mound, and Billy Williams said, stay right where you are. 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to the right-hand hitting Don Clendenin. Osteen into the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball sprayed foul or first base upstairs. Second deck, and it's still 2-2, matching the number that Clendenin wears. Osteen, who had to leave while working on a shutout his last time out, is 1 back in the league lead. Ferguson Jenkins has 7. Curveball is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Clendenin tried to hold up and couldn't do it. The Mets are gone in order. Osteen has retired 9 in a row, and at the end of 3.5 innings, the Dodgers 2 and the Mets nothing.
Hey, George Fulmer, who did you look up to in the final laps of your record win at Phoenix?
I look up to my pit crew for signals. In a split second, they could tell me who I had to beat and how many laps were left.
Hey, George Fulmer, who do you look up to when you want to keep your passenger car in championship form?
I look up to 76. I use 76 racing fuels at Phoenix, and I stay with Royal 76 Premium on the highways. That's a pretty unbeatable combination.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76 for product and service that you want to choose. Look up to 76.
Look up to 76 for Royal 76 Premium and for the products and services that keep you out in front. Union 76 has won more races in the West than any other brand.
You can depend on your pit crew at 76.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76.
As we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, a soaking wet Jerry Kuzman prepares to pitch to Wes Parker, Andy Costco, and Bill Sudeikis. Kuzman looks like he is pitching in Atlanta rather than Los Angeles. Of course, you are aware of perspiration more so than a fellow wearing a gray uniform. Kuzman's shirt, a very dark gray, and the right thigh of the right pants also heavily stained with perspiration. He's working hard, and he's losing 2-0. He struck out Parker in the 2nd inning, starts him low and inside, ball 1. Nice to have with us Elton Schiller, the GM of the Spokane Indians, along with manager Tommy Lasorda, and Charlie Blaney, the general manager of the Albuquerque Dodgers, taking in the game tonight. 1-0 pitch to Parker, line drive, base hit to left field. Jones up with the ball and gets it back in. Parker holding, and let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
If it needs to be nailed or glued, painted, or do-it-yourself repaired, what you need is at Color Key Paints of Arizona, 714 East Indian School Road, Phoenix, where you can use your Arizona Bank Americard.
KTAR Phoenix.
Andy Costco aboard on the error to Ed Charles in the 2nd inning. So Costco is 0 for 1. He finds Parker at first, nobody out. Dodgers leading 2-0 in the 4th. Kuzman ready, fires, and a curveball is hit into left field, base hit. Parker to second base, stops there, and Cleon Jones gets that back in. So Kuzman got a curveball up, and Costco singles sharply to left. And that'll bring up Bill Sudeikis, but not before his manager talks to him. Jerry Kuzman is not quite the same pitcher who won 19 games last year. For one thing, he does not throw as hard as often as he did last year. In May, after pitching a game in Montreal this year, his arm went numb, and he was actually worried that his career was over. The doctors advised Jerry not to touch a ball for about 6 weeks, so he was very slow in rounding into form. He is now somewhat the way Koufax liked to pitch. He's not interested in just overpowering hitters, and he is much more of a pitcher now than he was last year, although he will not win as many games this year as last. Sudeikis up there, around to bunt, does foul outside of third, and the count 0-1. Last year, Kuzman would give you that nice, easy windup, and then it would be an echo at home plate. Goes more breaking balls now, pitching to Spot. And the breaking ball has gotten him into trouble here in the fourth. Back-to-back singles by Parker and Costco. Clendenin on the grass. Charles at the edge of the grass. Sudeikis swings and lifts one to left, but Jones goes back on the ball, leaps in the air to one-handed, and the runners have to scurry back. That ball was just starting to take off, and a leaping one-hand catch by Cleon Jones. Cleon, a fine outfielder. He throws left-handed. So 1 out, and the batter, Ted Sizemore. That ball seemed to have a second effort back of it. 1 minute it was a fly ball, and the next thing you know, it was all set to take off. All right, here's Sizemore. Kuzman checks, delivers, fastball misses, ball 1. The Dodgers winning a game they feel they must win to keep pace. The Mets trying to catch up on the Cubs, who lost. 1-0 to Sizemore, hit into a fourth play in the second inning. Kuzman's 1-0 pitch. Fastball hit down the left field line. Fair ball. It's in the corner. In comes Parker. Costco stops at third on a double by Sizemore. Dodgers lead 3-0. So the Dodgers' prime candidate for Rookie of the Year honors, Ted Sizemore, has delivered again. That gives him 10 hits in his last 20 at-bats. He has hit safely in 19 of the last 22 games. Jeff Torborg will be walked intentionally, and that'll bring up Claude Osteen in a moment. The walk to Torborg will also load the bases. Cal Kuntz, right-hand relief pitcher, throwing in the Mets bullpen. So Kuzman is in trouble. The Dodgers have scored. They lead 3-0. The base is loaded, 1 out, and here's Claude Osteen. Claude Osteen struck out in the third inning. He is the best hitting pitcher on the Dodgers staff. He has 22 hits and 11 runs batted in. Kuzman out of a windup delivers, and the first one high and away, ball 1. So Kuzman has wild pitched 2 runs over, and Sizemore has just doubled over the third Dodger run, and they have him on the ropes. Costco, Sizemore, and Torborg take their lead. 1-0 fastball is ground ball down to White. He feeds to Harrelson. He throws to Clendenin, double play, and the inning is over. So Kuzman fights his way out of a corner and gets the double play ball on Osteen. The Dodgers settle for a run on 3 hits, 2 left, and at the end of 4, Dodgers 3, Mets nothing.
You know, I sit up here in the broadcasting booth game after game watching guys whistling and waving, trying to get the boogeyman who just never happens to be in their aisle when their beer runs out. And to keep thinking you guys at home definitely do have it better in some ways, all you have to do is call the boogeyman once, then walk to the refrigerator and get your own beer. It's the same light, comfortable tasting burgie we have here in the park. That is a comfortable thought. Being your very own boogeyman for a change, so he's always right there whenever you want him.
A bright day, so comfortable, just right for a comfortable beer. The right day for burger, it's a comfortable kind of beer.
at Dodger Stadium through 4 innings, the Dodgers 3 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. The Mets no runs, just 1 hit. That hit, although hit sharply, nevertheless is a bad hop single into left field by Don Clendenin over the head of third baseman Bill Sudeikis. And there has been 1 New York Mets error. Osteen will be pitching to Ron Swoboda, Ed Charles, and Duffy Dyer. On the message board, happy anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Alex Melgan of Woodland Hills on Golden Wedding Day.
Ron.
Here's Ron Swoboda.
Right field.
And to Mr. and Mrs. Roy Hagan of Tucson on wedding day number 56. Swoboda hit back to the box in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Osteen ready to go to work now, and the pitch to Swoboda. Breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 1. Dodgers building a picket fence on the scoreboard. They've scored single tallies in the second, third, and fourth. Lead 3-0. We're now in the 5th. 1-0 pitch to Swoboda. Fastball low. Ball 2. Throw it up on top again. 2-0 the count is Swoboda. Now the left-handed delivers, and the pitch is strike. 2-1. Veteran third baseman, another right-hand batter, Ed Charles, on deck. Two and 1 the count. Claude Osteen's 2-1 pitch. Low, ball 3. Swoboda waiting, 3 balls, 1 strike. Osteen into the windup and delivers, and misses low, ball 4. So Swoboda opens up with a walk, and the batter will be Ed Charles with Duffy Dyer to follow. For Claude Osteen, that's his first walk. It marks the second Met able to get to first base, and it breaks a string of 9 consecutive outs. Ed Charles hit back to the box in the second inning. Osteen at the belt. Parker holding Swoboda. Claude delivers, and Charles hits a high drive into deep center. Back goes Davis, away back to the wall. He's got it. One-handing it. Swoboda back to first. Ed Charles hit one to the center field fence, and Willie Davis leaped up against the boards and one-handed it for the out. 1 away, and Duffy Dyer the batter. Dyer flied to right field in the second inning, 0 for 1. Osteen looks over at first, now to the plate, and a fastball outside, ball 1. On that towering smash by Charles, it was so close to hitting the wall. It would not have gone out, but it was so close to hitting the wall. Andy Costco was racing over, expecting to play the ball off the wall. Andy running so hard he lost his hat. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Dyer. Fastball away, ball 2. So Osteen having a little control problem here. He fell behind and walked Swoboda. Got one in the honey zone, and Charles almost hit it out. And he's now fallen behind 2-0 to Duffy Dyer. The pitch to the right-hand hitting catcher, way outside, ball 3. The Mets get a right-hander up in the bullpen. When they get down to Kuzman's spot, they might hit for him. They had Cal Kuntz throwing when Kuzman was on the ropes in the 4th inning. Now Don Cardwell, basically a starting pitcher, throwing in the bullpen. 3-0, the count to Duffy Dyer. Osteen delivers, a strike. When the Mets first came here, Cardwell was to be the pitcher tonight, the starting pitcher. But Kuzman received such a rough treatment and a quick exit Labor Day, he came right back tonight. He's had his troubles, so Cardwell is throwing back of him in the bullpen. Al White on deck. Dodgers 3, Mets nothing, 1 out in the 5th. Osteen delivers, and there's a ground ball to the hole and through into left field for a base hit. Svoboda stopping at second base, and so Osteen has lost an edge here in the 5th inning. The batter will be Weiss, and Jerry Kuzman is on deck. The big play now in the inning is that leaping catch by Willie Davis. Al Weiss hitting .221. He has 2 home runs, 20 RBIs. Right-hand batter. Svoboda at second, Dyer at first. Osteen had retired 9 in a row and hit a bump in the road. A walk to Svoboda, the long out by Charles, and now a single by Dyer. Weiss waiting, and Osteen delivers. And there's a one-hopper off the glove of Sudeikis, picked up by Wills. He goes to Sizemore. They get Dyer. Oh, what a play. A great heads-up play by Maury Wills. And when was the last time you saw 3 men involved in a forced play at second? Because Sudeikis, by deflecting the ball, took a sure hit away from Weiss. So the play went 5-6-4. Sudeikis, Wills, Sizemore, and they forced the catcher. Now, with 2 outs, on what could have been a very big inning, Jerry Kuzman coming up. So Osteen has not fooled many here in the inning. Dodger bullpen, they get a right-hander up as Kuzman checks in. Run is at first and third, 2 out. 3-0 Dodgers in the 5th. Osteen delivers, and it's swung on and missed 0-1. Pete Mickelson throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Two big defensive plays have saved Claude so far in the 5th. Kuzman, not considered much of a hitter. He takes outside, 1-1. Jerry this year has 3 hits in 63 at-bats. One pitch on the way. Taken outside, ball 2. Kuzman last year surpassed a major league mark for pitchers when he struck out 62 times. 2-1 to Jerry Kuzman. Osteen delivers. There's a one-hopper hit down to Wills. He goes to high to Sizemore, but he stays with it, and the inning is over. So Osteen, after 4 strong innings, wobbled in the 5th, but got fine support. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. At the end of 4.5 innings, Dodgers 3, Mets nothing. Say, you know, you can count on Parmesan sausage scoring in both the top half and the bottom half of your daily menu planning. Or to put it another way, Parmesan sausage is not only the West's best breakfast, but it makes a mighty fine supper, too. Parmesan makes his sausage with all the best meat, not just the trimming. And he makes it to an old-time Western recipe with only natural herbs and spices. So there's a wonderful Western flavor in every marvelous meaty morsel. It's made from fresh Eastern corn-fed pork, brought out here live, then U.S. inspected and dressed fresh right here in the West. Well, that's why Parmesan sausage is always rosy fresh, never gray-looking like sausage shipped in frozen or cold storage. Or one day soon, give your family lean, juicy Parmesan sausage for breakfast or for supper. It's the sausage that won the gold medal at the California State Fair. You know what? You're going to agree with us. It's easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Mets no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. Jerry Kuzman was almost out of the game. Kuzman would have come out of the game if either of 2 things had happened.
Your attention, please.
if Davis had failed to come up with a drive by Charles, or if Sudeikis had not deflected the ball to Wills to get a force play, with Cardwell throwing in the bullpen, it seemed to indicate that Kuzman was coming out. The Dodgers made the defensive plays, and so he's still in the game. We'll see whether the Dodgers can capitalize on that or not. They hit him hard in the fourth inning. Maury Wills grounded out and had a bunt single. Kuzman delivers, bouncer to the left of Harrelson. He stays with it. Sidearms to Clendenin for the out. One away.
Manny Mota, left field.
Manny Mota has grounded out twice, both times to Al Weiss, the second baseman. And on deck is Willie Davis, and he's been tied up by Kuzman. That's another interesting thing about a hitting streak. We were talking last night about how Willie got a break. Cleon Jones did not play because Cleon simply runs faster and covers more ground than Art Shamsky. Here's the pitch to Mota. Line drive, base hit, and that just about took the cap off Kuzman. Although I think actually his cap fell off because he flinched as it whizzed by. Here's Willie. Now, if the Dodgers had not made those two defensive plays, he would perhaps be coming up to hit against right-handed Don Cardwell. But his own defensive work kept Kuzman in the game, and now he has to bat against him. So it seems a little ironic that Willie's glove kept Kuzman in the game, and Willie has grounded out and struck out with Kuzman both times, overpowering him. Mota at first, one out in the fifth, 3-0 Dodgers. Kuzman at the belt and delivers. Fastball, a high chopper down to Weiss. He flips back to Harrelson. The throw to first not in time, but a force play 4-6. And it was not a question of getting a force because there was no other play. Willie would have been out on the ground ball to Weiss. So 2 down, Willie Davis 0 for 3, and the batter, Wes Parker. But that really is strange. If Willie's glove is what finally silences his bat. Of course, we'd never know how we do against Cardwell. Parker has struck out and singled. He's 1 for 2. Kuzman kicks and delivers. Fastball for a strike. 3 runs on a half a dozen hits for the Dodgers. 2 wild pitches gave the Dodgers 2 runs. The Mets, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Willie goes. Pitch to Parker is hit in the air back of first base. Slicing foul down the right field line. Clendenin in pursuit and can't get it. So Davis will go back to first. 0-2 the count to Parker. West waiting. Willie Davis checks with Gilliam. 2 out. 3-0 Dodgers, 5th inning. Kuzman looks at Willie. Now comes to Parker. Fastball low. Ball 1. 1-2. Kuzman's 1-2 pitch to Parker. Curve fouled away, and Jerry must have given Willie the evil eye because he had him going back to the bag when he made the pitch to the plate. One and 2, the count to Wes Parker. Kuzman decides you better drive Willie back. 1-2 to Parker. The pitch to West, fastball, fouled away. Didn't get around on him, went off to the right out of play. Still 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to Wes Parker. 3-0 Dodgers, 5th inning, 2 out. Kuzman delivers. Breaking ball lifted to right field. Svoboda has the play. Ron trotting in. Under it. He's got it. No runs, one hit, a man left, and at the end of 5. Dodgers 3, Mets nothing.
At this moment, there are 3.5 million Americans in uniform. Americans far away from home, family, and friends. For them, the USO clubs and traveling shows are 2 ways to get a little closer to home. I'd like to read some of the comments about the USO from these servicemen. In a crowded port like this, you look for a clean place to relax. The USO is it. Another remark, there's a USO club just off the base. They have the best hamburgers for miles around. Another, I guess the USO is really the people back home telling us they're with us. Won't you please show these 3.5 million Americans you're behind them? Only you can keep the clubs open and the USO shows on the road. The USO gets no government money. Won't you please give to privately supported USO through your United Fund or community chest? Chances are someone you know needs USO.
Through 5 innings, the Dodgers 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Mets no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. The Dodgers got a run in the 2nd inning on an error and a wild pitch. Got a run in the 3rd inning on a bunt single, a stolen base, a misplay, although not an error at first base, and a wild pitch. And then Ted Sizemore doubled in the 3rd run in the 4th inning. If you have just joined us, Willie Davis is 0 for 3, and our centennial celebrity is being honored tonight, and we are so delighted to have him here, John Chief Myers, who was a teammate of Zach Weed and Casey Stengel on the 1916 Dodgers, the first Dodger club to play in the World Series. The Chief was a catcher for the Giants between 1909 and 1915. For the Dodgers in 16 and 17, and for the Braves in 17. He was on the National League champion Giant teams under John McGraw in 1911, 12, and 13. He had a .291 lifetime batting average, hit 300 or more 3 times. The Chief, John Chief Myers, our centennial celebrity tonight. Chief Myers is 89 years old, and we're so happy he could make it here tonight. There's a ground ball foul by Tommy Agee down the left field line, 0-1. We had received a number of letters from people asking when and would we honor Chief Myers. It was a question of getting him here. I think he lives in San Bernardino or Riverside. Anyway, we're delighted to have him here tonight. Here's the strike 1 pitch to Tommy Agee. Off speed, and he pulled it foul, 0-2. Tommy Agee waiting. Claude Osteen ready, delivers fastball. Looper in the left field, base hit for Tommy Agee. So Osteen, who was fortunate, and now Agee takes a big turn at first and just this dive back after Wills made the automatic tag at second with his back to first base. Agee broke his bat on the ball, and Moto was playing him deep, and Tommy almost went for the extra base. So the Dodgers will be watching him very carefully. It took 2 fine plays to get Osteen out of the 5th inning, and now the leadoff man gets a base hit in the 6th. 3 hits for the Mets. Harrelson lined out twice to center fielder Willie Davis, and then it was backhanded by Wills in the 4th inning. So to first base, Agee back. Osteen ready, delivers, and the pitch is popped in the air foul off first base. Parker angling back towards the auxiliary scoreboard and makes the catch for the out. One away, and here's Cleon Jones. Cleon made a fine defensive play on a shot by Bill Sudeikis in the 4th inning. Jones, as a batter, has grounded out twice to Wills and to Sizemore, and Wills goes to the mound to talk to Osteen. Sixth inning, 3-0 Dodgers, 1 out. A.G. right at the bag. He's not going to take any chances with his club down by 3. Jones waiting. Clendenin on deck. Slow curve, stayed up and away. Ball 1. Osteen hands at his sides. Torborg sets a target. And another throw to first, driving A.G. back. Osteen ready. The 1-0 pitch to Jones. Fastball hit to the hole. Over to get it. Wills. Back to Sizemore. And he just did get it. And boy, going after him was Tommy A.G. Sizemore was backing out into left field, but of course A.G. was only doing his job, the same thing that Bill Sudeikis did earlier. But he really followed Sizemore, and Tommy Gorman over to talk to Ted and Amore. A.G. just kept going right over the bag, making sure that Sizemore could not throw to first. All right, 2 down, and here's Don Clendenin. Clendenin has singled and struck out. His base hit, hard ground ball that took a bad hop over Sudeikis' head. Osteen delivers, and the pitch low and away. Ball 1. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Mets. Clendenin takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Ron Swoboda on deck. Osteen to his stretch. Now comes to the plate. Clendenin takes high, ball 2, 2-1. Osteen breezed through the first 4 innings. He retired 3, gave up a bad hop single, and then retired 9. But he was very fortunate to get out of the 5th inning without a run. 2-1 to Clendenin. Claude delivers. Fastball hit right back at Osteen. He stays with it and throws him out. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. And at the end of 5.5 innings, Dodgers 3, Mets nothing.
At Metco Pharmacy, 455 North Mesa Drive, Mesa, where you can use your Arizona Bank Bank America card.
This is KTAR Phoenix.
Andy Costco will start it off, followed by Bill Sudeikis and then Ted Sizemore. Bottom of the 6th inning, 3-0 Dodgers. Costco aboard on an error and single to left. He's 1 for 2. Jerry Kuzman into the windup, delivers fastball, pop foul to the right of the plate. Dyer coming over, it's questionable. He goes to the wire grill in front of the box seats and he can't get it, the dugout seats. 0-1. I guess every time I see a catcher run over to that particular area, I will always remember the World Series with Earl Batty. When he gave that thing such a resounding whack chasing the foul ball. Oh, 0-1, the count to Andy Costco. Kuzman ready in the left-handed delivers and gets a good fastball in there, strike 2. 0-2. Dodgers scored single runs in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. On a wild pitch in the 2nd, on a wild pitch in the 3rd. And Sizemore doubled home a run in the 4th. Strike 2 pitch to Costco. Fastball away. Ball 1. 1-2. Kuzman reading Dyer. Outfield deep and around the left on Costco. And the 1-2 pitch. Curveball. Lifted to left field. Cleon Jones goes in, goes back now, and makes the catch for the out. So Andy lifts a curveball to Jones, 1 away. And the batter, Sudeikis. Sudeikis single to left in the 2nd inning. was robbed of a hit by Jones in the fourth and made a very big defensive play in the fifth. With Dyer at first and Svoboda at second, Weiss hit a ball heading for left field. Sudeikis dived at it, got his glove on it, and deflected it over to Wills, who alertly picked it up and threw to Sizemore for a fourth. Had that ball gone through, the entire complexion of the game would have changed. They would have hit for Kuzman, and Cardwell would have been pitching. Instead, Kuzman is still there. The breaking ball is strike, 0-1. We assume they would have hit for Kuzman anyway. They had Cardwell throwing back of him. Strike one pitch to Sudeikis. Curveball, low, 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Bill. Fastball high, ball 2. 2-1. Among other things going tonight, Osteen is working on a scoreless string. He has now pitched 24 and 2/3 scoreless innings. Remember, he was working on a shutout last time out when he had to be lifted. Fastball is hit right through Kuzman's legs, over second base and into center field. And Sudeikis is 2 for 3. So with one out, Sudeikis singles, and here's Ted Sizemore, and as usual, playing great ball. Sizemore got a big double in the fourth inning. Ted Sizemore, 1 for 2. Sizemore has a quick look at Danny Ozark to see if there's a play in the works. Sudeikis off the bag at first. Kuzman deals and has a line drive, base hit to center. Sudeikis will go to second and stop there. And Sizemore continues to hang out those base hits. He's 2 for 3 tonight. He has hit safely in 19 of his last 22 games. And the Mets bullpen busy again. Rube Walker goes out to the mound to talk to Jerry Kuzman. Rube, former catcher with the Dodgers. He was the second string catcher back of Roy Campanella. And he is now the pitching coach for Gil Hodges. Rube has talked to Kuzman and goes back. Cal Kuntz, for the second time, is throwing in the bullpen. And the batter with 2 on and 1 out, Jeff Torborg. All right, Walker back in the dugout, and Torborg at the plate. He struck out and was walked intentionally. Right-hand hitting catcher waiting. Kuzman delivers. Fastball lifted to shallow right. That's going to be trouble. Racing in is Svoboda. It drops for a hit. Running right through the sign is Sudeikis, and then he retreats to third, and the bases are loaded. Danny Ozark went 20 feet out of the coaching box, which made him a good 30 to 35 feet down the third base line to stop Sudeikis. And the bases are loaded with 1 out, and the batter, Claude Osteen. So Torborg dumps one into right field. In the fourth inning with 1 out, the Dodgers had the bases loaded, and Claude Osteen hit into the inning-ending double play. Now he comes up with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 6th inning. The Mets are up at the corners. Charles and Clendenin looking for a play. Kuzman into the windup, delivers. Fastball fouled away. Off third, second deck. 0-1. So with 1 out, Sudeikis single through Kuzman's leg. Sizemore a line single to center. Torborg a pop fly single to right to load him up. 3-0 Dodgers looking for more in the 6th. Strike one pitch on the way to Osteen. Outside, a throw by Dyer to third. Not in time. Sudeikis back standing up. 1-1. Weiss and Harrelson are back to a normal depth, but Clendenin and Charles are up. Sudeikis bluffing down the line. Charles bluffs to the bag to tie him up. The 1-1 pitch to Osteen. Fastball hit to straightaway center. That's deep and out. AG goes back. 2 runners tag. Sudeikis will score. Sizemore to third. It's 4-0 Dodgers. And for Osteen, he has a dozen RBIs. To Osteen. Fastball hit to straightaway center. That's deep and out. AG goes back. 2 runners tag. Sudeikis will score. Sizemore to third. It's 4-0 Dodgers. And for Osteen, he has a dozen RBIs. Maury Wills coming up. Four runs, 9 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits, and an error for the Mets. Sizemore at third. Thorborg at first, held on by Clendenin. And here's Wills. He's 1 for 3, a bunt single. Kuzman at the belt, kicks and delivers, and it's sprayed foul right into the Mets dugout. And boy, they were one on top of the other to get out of the way of that thing. Wills almost wiped out one section of the Mets ball club. 0-1. Kuzman set. The strike one pitch to Wills. A chopper down to third. Ed Charles gloves it, flips across to Clendenin, and the inning is over. But the Dodgers get 1 run, 3 hits, leave 2. And at the end of 6, Dodgers 4, Mets nothing. Let's go to the 7th. Dodgers 4, Mets nothing. For more play, here's Jerry.
All right, Vinny, and here's Swoboda at bat, and the chant from some Met fans are down in right field. Let's go, Mets. Waving their banners as they stand up and try to get the Mets going here in the 7th inning. Swoboda has walked and grounded out. The only walk given up by Osteen came to Swoboda leading off in the 5th inning. And that was the inning in which Osteen needed some good defensive help, and he got it. So he's still working on a scoreless string as he winds, delivers now to Swoboda. Bouncing ball to short, right to Wills. Big hop. Handle on his throw to first. He's out. 1 away. So Swoboda grounds out short to first, and the batter now will be Ed Charles, who has grounded out and flied out. Osteen gunning for number 19. Ed Charles coming to bat. Osteen has won 17 games twice, 15 games twice. And last year he won 12. Now the pitch to by Claude. In for strike to Charles, 0-1. Osteen has already set a new personal high for victories in the season, and now he's really going for the moon. Trying to go well over 20. Now the windup and the pitch on the way. Curve is outside, 1-1. Osteen pitching tonight, trying for 19, has a 4-run lead. He's due up again on Sunday against San Diego. The final game down there. Curveball bounced to third near the line. Sudeikis over, up with his high throw, pulls Parker off, and he's safe. Sudeikis, who has a good arm, made one of his rare bad throws. He pulled Parker off. He had all day to throw Charles out, but he threw it high, and it's an error on Sudeikis. Duffy Dyer coming up now has singled and flied to right. So we'll see now how big the error turns out to be as Billy went to the line, fielded the easy hopper, and just threw high, pulled Parker off. In fact, Parker made a miraculous catch to even stop the ball. He went way in the air and had no chance to come back anywhere near the base. The Dodgers set the infield double plate up now with Dyer at bat and Weiss on deck. Here's the look in the pitch. Fastball is a strike, 0-1. It might be a big play as far as Willie Davis is concerned. If the Mets get another runner and have to hit for Kuzman, then it looks like Davis might get a chance to bat against Kuntz. Otherwise, he's going to bat against left-hander Kuzman in the 7th inning. 1 strike. Pitch on the way to Dyer. Ground ball toward Will. Up with it into second, one on to first base, double play. So they're all out in the 7th, 6-4-3, and the inning is over. As Osteen feeds up another ground ball. Boy, he's really good at that. Side out in the 7th. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and none left on. The score at the end of 6.5 innings. Dodgers 4 and the Mets nothing.
Needless to say, baseball is the favorite spectator sport of millions of Westerners. But when it comes to a participation sport, well, it's hard to beat a feast of lean, meaty spare ribs, barbecued to perfection. And when I say spare ribs, well, I mean Parmesan spare ribs. Because Parmesan spare ribs, like Parmesan pork roasts and Parmesan pork chops, are as fresh as you can buy. Parmesan brings fresh Eastern corn-fed pork out here live. Then it's U.S. inspected and dressed fresh right here in the West. Most other packers ship their pork in frozen or cold storage. So Parmesan pork is always strictly fresh. One day soon, get the coals burning red in your barbecue and put a batch of lean, luscious Parmesan spare ribs on the rotisserie. Boy, that's the day you'll discover how good spare ribs really are. And remember, whether it's spare ribs, pork roast, or chops, always insist on Parmesan pork. Gold medal winner at the California State Fair.
Well, we're going to have a new pitcher for the Mets anyway. Coming in from the bullpen will be Cal Kuntz to take over and pitch to the Dodgers here in the last half of the 7th inning. So Kuzman goes out. Jerry worked 6 innings, allowed 4 runs and 9 hits. Struck out 4, did not walk a man. The Dodgers trying to beat Kuzman for the 2nd time in this 3-game series. So Cal Kuntz comes in now to take over. We'll see if there are any other changes. Kuntz coming in with a pitcher spot due to bat second from now.
Number 34.
Dyer is still in behind the plate. Charles is still at third. And that apparently is the only change that Gil Hodges will make now. So Kuntz perhaps will pitch just 1 inning as we have a right-hander working again in the bullpen for New York. Nolan Ryan is down in the bullpen as Cal Kuntz warms up here. So Willie Davis will get a shot at the right-hand pitcher here in his 4th time up. Reminder that Danny Goodman's Pennant Stretch souvenir bargain available now. A packet of 20 Dodger player photos, a Dodger yearbook, and a 100th anniversary baseball button. All free items for $1 to Danny Goodman, Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, 90012. All right, set to go. Manny Mota, Willie Davis, and Wes Parker now against Calvin Kuntz. Kuntz has won 6 and has lost 3. His earned run average is .506. Kuntz in his 39th game.
Left field.
All right, here's Manny Mota at bat to face Kuntz. Willie Davis on deck. Here's the windup now, and Kuntz with a pitch to Manny is in for a strike, 0-1. Manny Mota, Willie Davis, Wes Parker. Willie is 0 for 3 tonight. He has grounded out, struck out, and grounded into a forced play. 30-game hitting streak will be on the line again in a moment. Here's the pitch to Mota. Curveball hit to third. Charles right there. Here's his throw across in time, and Mota is out, and here comes Willie, and this will probably be his last shot at it. We know of at least one other time that Willie went to the last at-bat. The game in Montreal, and the Dodgers in that inning batted around to give him a shot at it, and he got a base hit the last time up, and of course he did it here. That was, he was the 8th hitter due up, and they had a long inning, so he got another shot, and in the 9th he got a base hit. So that's about as close as he could come, and now he's up for perhaps his last time tonight. Cal Kuntz to the windup, and the pitch on the way to Willie. Foul, out of play to the left, strike 1. That slider in on the hand. So that is the most vivid memory we have of his streak. About the line single to right field on a Sunday afternoon in Montreal, his last time up. That was the time the Dodgers scored 7 runs in the ninth to pull it out. Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. He bunts back toward the mound, and Kuntz has it, and he's out. That's the first time we can remember Willie bunting in the streak, and he's out. He bunted it too good right back to the mound, and so apparently the streak will come to an end. Willie bunted, tried to get it by the mound, but did not, and goes back to the bench. Gets a round of applause as he goes back. A 30-game streak. He's grinning as he goes back in there. And if it ends now, Willie he won't be too disturbed about it. He has certainly accomplished a great streak. 30 consecutive games, an all-time Dodger mark, and his name will be in the Dodger record books for a long time with that one. Here's the pitch on the way, and Parker takes high, ball 1-0. Willie came back to the bench, as Vinny reports, with a grin on his face, almost maybe with a sigh of relief. To say, well, that's that, we'll try it again. 1 ball and no strike. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on a drive to left center field. Is going to be up the alley and through for extra bases. Parker around, heads for second. And now will turn second, go for third as A.G.'s throw comes across. A great throw. He's out at third. Tommy A.G. with a miraculous throw to get Parker at third base. A.G. had trouble picking the ball up at the warning track at the 380 mark, so Parker kept on going. Then A.G. threw it on one bounce, a strike to Charles, who tagged him out to retire the side. A great throw by Tommy A.G. from center field as Parker is cut down 8-5, trying to stretch it. Parker would have stopped had A.G. been able to pick the ball up the first time. He groped for it, and that let Parker keep on coming, and then A.G. really fired a shot to third base to get him. Side retired in the 7th inning. No runs, 1 hit, none left, and the score through 7. The Dodgers 4 and the Mets nothing.
Camp West Industries, located at 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix, is camper headquarters in the valley. It's the home of Tramper Camper, the quality-built camper that offers more for your camper dollar, and the beautiful Travette, the Cadillac of campers. Camp West features many accessories for your camper. In fact, everything that goes in, on, or around a camper. If the call of the desert, a rushing stream, tall pines, and the outdoors is your pleasure, a camper is the answer. Build your own. Camp West Industries has everything you need to do just that. But whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or prefer the ready-made type for quality campers and camper accessories, the place to see is Camp West at 2802 Grand Avenue. Easy to get to, just north of Thomas Road and a block west of Black Canyon Freeway on Grand Avenue. Camp West is open 6 days a week, Monday through Friday till 9, Saturday till 5. So before you buy your camper, see Camp West, your volume camper dealer. For quality, price, and service, that's Camp West Industries, 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix.
All right, let's go along to the 8th inning with the Mets coming on. The Dodgers lead 4-0. Back to action. Here's Vin.
All right, Jerry, in the 8th inning, it'll be Al Weiss. Bob File is on deck to bat for Kuntz, and then Tommy A.G., who just made a remarkable throw. First pitch, a strike, 0-1. Last night, after the ballgame, and chatting with a couple of the New York writers who could remember Joe DiMaggio's streak of 56, and everybody was conscious of hitting streaks. Here's the strike 1 pitch. Soft curve, hits slowly to Sudeikis, who's on the grass, and throws him out. 1 away. Al Campanis, vice president of the Dodgers, said that he remembered that almost midway in Joe's streak, it might even have been around the 30 mark, 31, 32, somewhere, that DiMaggio was hitless going into the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Yankees led by 4 runs. And in the bottom of the 8th, DiMaggio was to be the 4th batter. The first man made out. The next man was Red Ralph, and Red Ralph drew a walk. That brought up Tommy Henrich with 1 out and Ralph at first and DiMaggio in the on-deck circle. File fouls a pitch away. And what Henrich did was bunt. He sacrificed to stay out of the double play. That gave DiMaggio the at-bat, and he doubled into the left field corner and went on to hit safely in 56 straight. Strike 1 pitch to File. He chased it and missed it. Bobby going across the plate to have a swipe at that thing. 0-2. Osteen giving him a screwball as he turned over the change. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball down and away. Ball 1. 1-2. It certainly did appear from up here looking through the field glasses as Willie went back towards the Dodger dugout with a big grin on his face to say, well, okay, that's that. And I'm sure he's delighted it's over. The 1-2 pitch check swing, and it's low, ball 2. 2-2. One out, 8th inning, 4-0 Dodgers. Osteen ready and delivers. Curveball is hit just foul outside of third and down the line. So a foul by File, and the count 2-2. Tomorrow night, the Dodgers will be in San Diego against the Padres. And Bill Singer will open it up against left-hander Dick Kelly. Jim Bunning figures to go against Joe Necro Friday night. Don Sutton against Clay Kirby Saturday night. Claude Osteen and Al Santorini Sunday afternoon. There's one, Luke towards center and beyond Will's reach, but run down by Sizemore as Ted goes out to get it. So File, a bloop single. And here is Tommy Agee, who has made one of the really fine throws of the year tonight when he threw out Parker. Agee, who goes after balls in the outfield, running first from one side to the other, reminding you a great deal of Willie Mays. And he made a youthful Mays throw when he got Parker. Tommy, right-hand batter, is 1 for 3. Grounded to short twice and single to left. The Dodger bullpen is going to get up. Pitch to Agee. High fly ball into deep right center. Back goes Davis. Oh, way back. It's gone. So Tommy Agee not only throwing like Mays, but hitting like Willie as he stuffs one into the right center field bleachers for Tommy Agee, his 24th home run. That cuts the Dodger lead in half. It makes it Dodgers 4, Mets 2. Keith Mickelson is throwing in the Dodger bullpen, and that noise you heard was the end of the scoreless string for Osteen. He had gone 26 innings without allowing a run, and then 2 come over here in the 8th. The batter is Harrelson. He lines one to left center for a base hit. Davis over and comes up with it, and Bud holds on with a single. And Osteen now is in trouble in the 8th inning as Cleon Jones comes up and Red Adams heads to the mound. Red Adams going out to the mound to talk to Claude. One thing I don't know whether Osteen got in all of his running. In other words, when he hurt himself in his last start, I don't know whether he kept running in the outfield until tonight. And you'd be surprised if a pitcher does not run in between starts, he'll get wobbly. So if Osteen is getting a little rubber-legged out there, Adams wanted to find out. Claude, however, apparently gave the right answer. So Osteen, with 1 out, gave up just a bloop single by File, but then a long home run by Agee and a line single by Harrelson. Mickelson in the pen and Cleon Jones at the plate. Cleon is 0 for 3, and he came into the game hitting .351. On deck, Don Clendenin. So this thing is still wiggling in the 8th inning. Osteen, left foot on the rubbers, set at the belt, has a look at Harrelson and decides to drive him back with a throw. 4 runs, 10 hits for the Dodgers, 2 runs, 6 hits for the Mets. Osteen to Jones, fastball away, ball 1. Osteen tonight walks Svoboda in the 5th inning. That is the only walk he has allowed. Jones waiting. Osteen ready to come back to him 1-0. And the fastball is high. Ball 2. If that fastball starts to move up and away, the Dodgers will become rather anxious in the dugout. 2-0 to Cleon Jones. Harrelson, short lead. Osteen ready, and the 2-0 pitch to Jones. Curve ball over. 2-1. So often happens, a pitcher having trouble with the fastball, it's running all over the place, but he can come right back with a curve for a strike. 2-1. Jones wearing the count. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball hit down to Sizemore. He steps on the bag, close to first, not in time. And Jones, I believe, went after a bad ball. I think he went after ball 3. And Cleon, with his head down, a little disgusted as he walks back towards first base. That fastball just ran away from Cleon, and he actually went across the plate, and even then hit it just off the end of the bat. So Jones, a little disgusted with himself as he hits into a force play, going after what might have been ball 3, and that would have put Osteen on the ropes. Here is Clendenin. And, of course, with one swing of the bat, he can get you even in this spot. Clendenin has single, struck out, hit back to the box. And he'll be going for the downs right now. Osteen at the belt. The pitch to Clendenin. Curveball. A drive to deep right field. Back goes Costco. This one is gone. Clendenin hit a curveball into the right field bleachers, and the Mets have caught the Dodgers. It's 4-4 in the 8th. Quickly, let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
KTAR Phoenix.
Ron Swoboda hits the ball to Osteen, who throws him out, and Walter Olson was on the field. He was heading to take Osteen out when Swoboda hit the first pitch back to the box. So a 1-3 play ends the 8th inning, but 2 home runs, each with a man aboard, give the Mets 4 in the 8th to get even. And at the end of 7.5, Mets 4, Dodgers 4. 4 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. The Mets, 4 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Jerry Kuzman is off the hook. He was down 4-0. He has nothing to do with it. Neither does Cal Kuhn. Claude Osteen was within 1 pitch of coming out of the game. That was rather strange. Walter Olson had come out of the dugout. He was just, I'd say halfway across the warning track. Osteen, intent on his batter, didn't see the manager and made the pitch. And Swoboda hit the first pitch back to Osteen. Otherwise, Olson was going to take him out. Red Adams had already been to the mound in the inning.
Andy Costco.
So here's Andy Costco. So that's as close as you will ever see a pitcher avoid being taken out. Nolan Ryan has had the reputation and has showed it that he can throw as hard as anybody. This year he has worked 63 innings. He has 63 strikeouts. He can really hurry that ball up to the plate. He's a big right-hander. He's had a military obligation to fulfill, so he should be a little rusty. He pitched batting practice last night, and now he's in a tough one, all even at 4-4, and Costco at the plate. Nolan's fastball, a strike. Nolan Ryan. His first name is Lynn Nolan. He's from Refugio, Texas. Makes his home in Alvin, Texas. Strike 1 pitch. Fastball, fouled right down on Costco's foot, and that sends him on his knees in pain, and the count 0-2. Costco kneeling on his right knee. He's not quite ready yet. Nolan Ryan, last year, struck out 14 Reds in one game, and he fanned 10 or more 4 times. But he has had trouble with a blister ailment. He gets such a tremendous spin on the ball, the rotation as it comes off the fingers usually begins to wear out the skin, and he has to leave with blisters. Then last year, to add to his misery, he had some elbow trouble. He can really throw when he's sound. Nolan Ryan, he's 6'2", 195-pounder. 22. The strike 2 pitch. Fastball low. Ball 1. In his rookie year, he struck out 115 batters in 78 innings. And then his next year seems impossible. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Low and inside, ball 2. In his second year in pro ball, in 205 innings, this big right-hander struck out 313. Nolan into his windup, and the 2-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, got away from the catcher, but Costco is still at the plate, and Dyer will throw to Clendenin, the out recorded there. So Andy strikes out, 1 away. Bill Sudeikis coming up. When the Mets hit in the 9th inning, the pitcher's spot is due up 4th. So they have Don Cardwell throwing in the bullpen. Bill Sudeikis singled to left in the 2nd inning, went out to deep left field in the 4th, and singled to center in the 6th. He hit one right through Kuzman's legs. Sudeikis also made a big defensive play with the cooperation of Will. And now he's up there in the 8th. Score even 4-4. Fastball low. It almost took Dyer's glove off his hand. Ball 1 as it went behind the plate. Nolan Ryan. They call him Texas Rangers. There are about 5 youngsters on the Mets club, all signed by Red Murph, the former big league pitcher, down in the Texas area. Pitch low, ball 2, 2-0. Ryan is one of them. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way. Sudeikis takes a look, and that's low. Ball 3. Kuzman, who started the game, was signed by Red Murph. 3-0 to Sudeikis. Bill had a quick look, and the 3-0 pitch on the way. Fastball is low. Ball 4. That's the first real walk the Dodgers received tonight. Jeff Torborg walked in the 4th inning, but that was intentionally granted. Here is Ted Sizemore, hit into a 4th play, and then doubled and singled. He has been blazing hot with the bat, and he's up there now with a runner at first, 1 out in the 8th, a 4-4 tie, and Jeff Torborg on deck. Whether Torborg hits against the right-hander remains to be seen. Ryan at the belt. The pitch to Sizemore, high, ball 1. Left-hander Jack DeLauro has joined Don Cardwell in the Mets bullpen. Ryan, as we said, is rusty. 1-0 the count to Ted Sizemore. Right-hander looks at first. The pitch in there. 1-1. Yogi Berra doing a little cheerleading from the Mets dugout, pacing up and down the length of the bench. Pitching coach Rube Walker, hands stuffed in his hip pockets, watching another young Mets pitcher on the firing line. 1-1 to Ted Sizemore. Ryan delivers. Ted looks, and it's low. Ball 2. 2-1. 26,625 looking on tonight. Dodgers kept pecking away to build up a 4-0 lead on 2 big swings. The Mets got evens. 2-run home run by A.G. and the same by Clendenin. 2-1 pitch to Sizemore, low, ball 3. So now the Mets in the dugout begin to twist and turn a little, and Dyer walks the ball halfway out to the mound. Sizemore has a look at Danny Ozark. So does base runner Sudeikis. We'll see whether the Dodgers might have a run and hit play in the works. A 3-ball count on Sizemore. Sudeikis taking his lead, short lead. Ryan checks. He does not go. The pitch, strike two, a breaking ball. So Ryan came back with the breaking stuff, 3-1, got it over. Well, we'll see if they put that run and hit on now with a full count and one out. Sudeikis takes a little bigger lead this time, and he goes. Sizemore swings and misses. Dyer goes to Weiss, and the ball gets away from Weiss, and safely into second is Sudeikis head first. We'll see how they rule it. We do know that Sizemore has struck out for the second out, and it'll be a stolen base for Bill Sudeikis. So Nolan Ryan has gotten 2 outs the way he usually does, strikeouts, and Willie Crawford starts to come up the dugout steps, stops for a moment to listen to his manager, still on the steps, wearing a helmet, and now goes back down the steps. So let's see. It looked like Crawford was coming up, and apparently he will not. He will give way to Tommy Haller. And it is Haller who gets the stick and comes up. Tom Haller will bat for Jeff Torborg with 2 out in the 8th inning, a 4-4 tie.
Batting for Torborg, number 50, Tom Haller.
There is another thing to add to the pleasure of the ball game, to add to the conjecture of what will happen here tonight when it's all over. That is, if Haller does make out, and he is going to be walked intentionally. Well, that's very important, because it means that if the pitcher makes out, or whoever bats for him, Willie Davis will then be the number 3 hitter in the 9th inning. Unless the Dodgers get a run and win it, of course. So you can outthink this ball game right down the hallway. Haller is getting the intentional walk, and now Willie Crawford will come out after Tommy goes to first. So Tommy Haller getting the intentional walk, and it's up to Willie Crawford now. And boy, this is really something, isn't it? Crawford is coming up trying to win the game. If he makes the last out in the 8th, Willie Davis will get another shot at extending his streak. Willie Crawford with 2 on and 2 out in the 8th, a 4-4 tie. Crawford hitting .262, and he checks in now against the hard-throwing right-hander Nolan Ryan. Dyer straightened up to check the outfield. Duffy now goes into a crouch, and Ryan is ready. Set at the belt. The right-hander delivers. Crawford swings and misses. Ryan, who lives on the strikeout, both of his outs in the inning are strikeouts. Costco and Sizemore. 0-1 to Willie Crawford. 4-4, bottom of the 8th, 2 out. Strike 1 pitch. Fastball low, just missed at the knees. 1-1. The Dodgers trying to keep pace with the other contenders in the Western Division. They all won this afternoon. The Mets trying to pick up a game on the Cubs. The 1-1 pitch. Crawford takes strike 2. Nolan Ryan wears Willie's hitting streak on his back. Number 30. Crawford waiting. Ryan at the belt. The 1-2 pitch to Crawford. Inside. A nice save by Dyer. And it's no easy chore to sit behind the plate and handle the hard stuff dished out by Ryan. 2-2. Sudeikis at second, Haller at first. That's not much running speed out there. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Crawford. Fastball away. Ball 3. Well, Well, the Dodgers get a very big edge. Neither Sudeikis nor Haller can be considered a fast runner, but they get the edge in that they can be going on the pitch. Gil Hodges off the bench now. Moves along a little. Big pitch. Ryan is set. Crawford is waiting. The runners go. The pitch is a ground ball slowly to third. Charles has it. Throws. Gets him. So Crawford fails to deliver. And what it means now is Willie Davis will get one more shot in the bottom of the ninth. In the eighth inning, no runs, no hits. 2 left. And at the end of 8, Dodgers 4, Mets 4.
A lot of people seem to think that a beer that's easy to take is hard to come by. Not so.
No, sir. A beer that's easy to take is easy to get. All you have to do is say Bergie.
B-U-R-G-I-E. Bergie. A very comfortable kind of nickname for a very comfortable kind of beer. And do you know where Burgermeister got that nickname?
Well, from the people who bought it, tasted it, and liked it years ago. Bergie got its nickname naturally from all the people who tried it and liked it because it was easy to take.
There was no big deal about it, no big advertising campaign or publicity stories or anything. People just liked Bergie, so they called it Bergie.
And the Bergie they liked then is the Bergie they like now. The same kind of beer, comfortable, brewed with soft water, so every cold, wet, good-tasting glass of Bergie refreshes and keeps right on refreshing.
That's why we keep telling you about it, so that if you still think a beer that's easy to take is hard to get, you'll get Bergie and find out about the comfortable beer, Bergie.
Before we go to the ninth inning in a 4-4 tie, 4 runs, 10 hits, an error for the Dodgers, 4 runs, 7 hits, an error for the Mets. Got a little time. Let's spend it with Jerry.
Tickets on sale now for all games the rest of the season. Box and reserve. Take a tip for the games down the red-hot stretch. Do your ticket shopping early. Games with the Giants, September 26th and 27th and 28th. Games with the Reds on the 15th and 16th, including a twilight night double bill on the 16th. Games with Atlanta on the 17th and 18th. They're all moving briskly, and the smart fans are lining up their tickets right now. Shop at any Dodger ticket office. Shop throughout Ticketron, the electronic ticket salesman, or shop by mail to Dodgers, Box 100, Los Angeles 90051. All right, let's go along into the ninth inning, and here's Vince.
All right, Jerry. Pete Mickelson is loosening up to Tommy Haller. Haller batted for Torborg, stays in the number 8 spot, and Pete Mickelson bats 9. The Mets will make a change or two of their own now. Ken Boswell, an infielder, will bat for Ed Charles. Boswell. A 4-4 tie in the ninth inning. And Pete Mickelson picking up for Claude Osteen, who went 8 innings, allowed 4 runs and 7 hits. Boswell pokes one over the mound to Will's left. Morey one hand, throws and gets him. 1 away. That'll bring up Duffy Dyer, the right-hand hitting catcher. Dyer has flied to right, single to left, and grounded into double play. Osteen gave up 2 home runs in the 8th inning, but what you must do in this case is salute Major League hitters, Tommy Agee and Don Clendenin. Osteen kept the ball away from both of them, so all Agee did was drive it into the right center field bleachers, and Clendenin hit it into the right field bleachers. Dyer swings and misses, 0-1. Boy, that's why it's a big league. 0-1 to Duffy Dyer. Al Weiss on deck. Strike 1 pitch. Palm ball over, 1-1. Mickelson does not like to throw that palm ball too often to the big hitters. Pete says most of his home runs allowed this year have been hit on the palm ball. He has given up 8. Strike 2 pitch. Palm ball fouled away. Dyer has 3 home runs. A 4-4 tie in the ninth inning. A great way to finish up an important homestand. Pete reading Haller. Strike 2 pitch. Breaking ball inside, ball 1. 1-2. Dodgers go to San Diego for 4. then to Atlanta and Houston. And boy, when they come home. The 1-2 is pulled foul down the left field line in the lower deck. When the Dodgers bat in the bottom of the ninth, they have Maury Wills, Manny Mota, and a hitless Willie Davis. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Dyer. Sinker grounded to third. Bad hop over the left shoulder of Sudeikis. And that's the second one of those tonight. The Dodger infield on the left side starting to get a little gun shy. And Sudeikis angrily picks at the dirt. So a bad hop single puts the Mets with a base runner at first, one out in the ninth. And here is Al Weiss. He's 0 for 3. Sudeikis plays up inside the bag. Mickelson out of a stretch, checks first, delivers, and the sinker is bunted up along first. Mickelson picks it up and lobs to Parker, and he almost had Weiss run under that cause. He just did get him, 1-3. So 2 down, and now let's see, who will it be? It's not going to be Nolan Ryan. It's going to be Art Shamsky, who takes off the windbreaker in the far corner of the Mets dugout. You just about have to pitch to Shamsky because on deck is A.G., but Walter Olson wants to discuss the matter with Pete Mickelson right now. So Art Shamsky comes out of the Mets dugout. He's hitting .300 this year. Shamsky with 11 home runs, 36 runs batted in. So Olson talking to Mickelson and Haller. First base open, so they have a place to put Shamsky if they want to fool around with A.G. A.G. is 2 for 4, and A.G. drew blanks last night after having 3 singles and a home run in the first game. So in the series, the on-deck batter, Tommy A.G., has 2 home runs and 4 singles. So Art Shamsky will be the batter. Wills now comes in to talk to Mickelson after Alston and Haller have left the mound. Great game. 4-4 in the ninth. 2 out. Dyer at second base. Mickelson delivers. Outside. Ball 1. Perhaps, and only perhaps, it might be a case of don't give him anything too good to hit. If he fishes, fine. If not, put him aboard. We'll see. 1-0 to Shamsky. Wills bird-dogging Dyer a little. The 1-0 pitch, sinker, and a high fly ball into shallow center. Wills, Sizemore, and Davis. It is Willie. Okay, we got a lot of things on the line. The ball game and Willie Davis streak coming up. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. At the end of 8 1/2, a 4-4 tie. Well, friends, in his own way, Farmer John's a lot like a good switch hitter. Batting on the meat department side of your market, he's sure to make a hit with his Parmesan ham, bacon, sausage, and fresh pork. And when he moves over to the delicatessen side, he's just as much at home. There you'll find Parmesan's plump, juicy all-meat wieners and his fresher than fresh Parmesan luncheon meats. Parmesan luncheon meats are the finest you can buy, made with fresh Eastern corn-fed pork and fresh, lean, juicy homegrown beef. And Parmesan uses only natural herbs and spices, never any artificial flavorings or seasonings. There's a wide variety of Parmesan luncheon meats, including Parmesan all-meat bologna, Parmesan sliced cooked ham, liverwurst, salami, and more. All your favorites and all strictly fresh. And all gold medal winners at the California State Fair. So look for Parmesan luncheon meats in the delicatessen section of your market. And if you don't see them, don't be shy. Ask for them all together. Parmesan. As we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, Jack DeLauro, the left-hander, comes out of the Mets bullpen. The Mets using Boswell and Lyle as pinch hitters, and finally Shamsky. So the Mets defensively, Don Clendenin at first base, Ken Boswell, who hit for L. Charles, at second base. The shortstop is Bud Harrelson, and the third baseman is Al Weiss, who started the game at second, and he just moved over to Charles. The outfield remains the same. Cleon Jones, Tommy Agee, and Ron Swoboda. Against left-handed DeLauro, and he is the fourth Mets pitcher. The Dodgers will have Wills, Mota, Davis. Wills is 1 for 4. Morey had a bunt single against Jerry Kuzman in the third inning. By the way, a gentleman called into the Dodgers switchboard and asked a question that many folks might wonder about. That is, if a ball game goes into extra innings and a man gets a base hit in the extra inning game, does that extend his hitting streak? And the answer is yes. Really just around the corner. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Wills. Fastball, hit to the hole, base hit to left field. Morey rounds first and holds on. The batter will be Manny Mota, and let's clear the air, shall we, and pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Fine food, popular prices, and smiling service are the favorite of visitors to Newton's Prime Rib of Phoenix, where you can use your Arizona Bank AmeriCard.
KTAR Phoenix.
Well, Wills has singled, and some more of the fun for the folks in the stands trying to figure out about Willie Davis. If Mota sacrifices Wills to second, would they pitch to Willie? Left-hand pitcher on the mound, he's a left-hand batter. Yeah, we got a lot going. Here's Mota with Wills at first and nobody out. DeLauro at the belt, checks Wills, now comes to the plate, and there's the bunt. Down to get it, DeLauro. The play is to first base, the sacrifice works, and now we are faced with that situation. Do you walk Willie Davis? He's getting an ovation. The one thing in his favor, oddly enough, is there is a left-hand pitcher on the mound. If there was a right-hand pitcher, the odds figure for sure they would walk him intentionally. But what will they do with a left-hander? I'll tell you one thing, if they walk him, you're going to hear a few boos. Harrelson comes in to talk to DeLauro, and we'll see. Will they walk Davis intentionally? Will he be deprived of getting one last swing at that consecutive hitting streak? Harrelson talks to DeLauro. The shortstop goes back to his post. Duffy Dyer is standing up behind the plate. And let's see, if he does not go in a crouch, they're going to put him on. Dyer looks over at Hodges. He's not in a crouch. And now he goes in a crouch. They'll pitch to him. Dyer kept looking at Hodges and finally settles in the crouch, and Davis has one last fling. Or is it the last fling? Bottom of the ninth, 4-4. DeLauro looks at Wills. The left-hander at the belt. The pitch to Willie. Soft curve as a base hit to left. Here comes Wills. He will score! Day and year after year, the Dodgers remain the Dodgers. And through all the lightning bolts, the thunder, the heartbreak, the laughs, and the thrills, it's comforting to know in this wacky world that the Dodgers are still the Dodgers. Incredibly enough, Willie Davis, on one last shot, when the question was in doubt if he would be even allowed to swing the bat, gets a ninth-inning, game-winning base hit to extend his hitting streak to 31. And as Alice said, things get curiouser and curiouser. What a finish. The Dodgers 5 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error. The Mets 4 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. And there is not a writer in Hollywood who would dare to write a script for a story that unfolded at Dodger Stadium tonight. And 26,625 go home talking about a dandy. The Mets crushed after coming from behind. The Dodgers win. They will go to San Diego. And tomorrow night on KFI and the Dodger Radio Network and on Channel 11 KTTV in the Los Angeles area, we'll find out more about the adventures, the wild and woolly adventures of the Dodgers, and in particular, a fella by the name of Willie Davis. Hey, Willie's going to be on the post-game show, so stay right with us. And warm-up tomorrow will be at 7:40. Once again, the final score, the Dodgers 5, the Mets 4. And now this is Vin Scully, along with Jerry Doggett, inviting you to stay tuned to the post-game show coming right up.